What if you could start with a professionally designed website and then customize almost every part of it to match your own style without having to build everything from scratch? That's what I'm going to show you in this video using Kirki, a visual website builder for WordPress. We'll start by importing a ready-made template, and then I'll customize the headings, typography, colors, spacing, images, and other design elements directly in the visual editor. After that, we'll take a look at some of Kirki's more advanced features, including forms, pop-ups, interactions, animations, and the interaction library. I'll also show you how these features can be used to create more engaging and interactive website. So instead of spending time on building everything from empty canvas, let's start with a template and see how far we can take it with Kirki. Now let's start by importing a ready-made template. From the Kirki dashboard, I'll open the template section and browse through the available designs. Instead of starting with a completely blank page, I can choose a template that already has the basic structure and sections I need. I'll select this template and click on Use Template to import into the project. And once it's loaded, I can open it in the visual editor and start making changes directly on the page. The main layout is already there, so I can spend more time customizing the design and adding my own content rather than building every section from scratch. Now that the template is imported, let's start customizing the typography and the content. I'll start customizing the content to match the type of website I want to create. For this example, I'm creating a modern digital agency website. I'll begin with the main heading. I'll click directly on the heading and replace the existing text with Build Better Digital Experiences. After that, I need to update the supporting paragraph to explain what the agency offers. And here I can write, we create modern high-performing websites that help businesses grow online. Now I'll open the typography settings from the right-hand panel. Here I can change font family, font size, weight, line height, and letter spacing. I'll make a few adjustments to give the heading a stronger visual hierarchy and make it fit to the overall design. I'll also adjust the paragraph slightly so it's be easy to read and works with 12 headings. Finally, I'll make a small adjustments to the spacing between the heading and paragraph and the button to keep the sections balanced. The goal here is to take the existing template and quickly adapt its content and typography to match the type of website I want to create. Now that the main content and typography are customized, let's move on to the visual styling. I'll start by selecting the main section on the canvas, and from the right-hand design panel, I'll open background settings and adjust the background color to give a section a cleaner and more modern appearance. Next, I need to select image and replace the existing one. I'll click on the image, choose the image option from the right-hand panel, and upload or select new image that fits to the digital agency style. Next, I'll make a small adjustments to its size and position so it fits naturally alongside the text. After that, I'll select a button, and from the design settings, I change its background color and text color as well, and also adjust border radius to give a cleaner and more modern look. I'll also select the main section again and make a small adjustments to the padding and spacing so there is enough breathing room around the content. This helps keep the heading, paragraph, image, and button visually balanced. And finally, if needed, I can add subtle border or shadow from the design panel. So I'll keep these effects minimal so the section stays clean and professional. These small visual changes let me take the original template and turn it into a design that feels much more like modern digital agency website without having to rebuild the entire section. And now that the main design is customized, let's move on to adding forms and pop-ups. I'll start by opening the Insert panel and going to the Forms section. From here, I can choose a form and add it directly to the page. I'll place the form in a subtle section and select the fields I need, such as name, email, and message. Then I'll make a quick design adjustments so the form fits naturally with the digital agency style. This can be useful for visitors who want to contact the agency, request information, or get in touch about a project. Next, I'll open the pop-up builder to create a simple pop-up. I'll give it a name and then configure when it should appear using the available trigger and timing options. For this example, I'll keep the pop-up simple with a short message and a clear call to action. I can also adjust options such as pop-up's position, display count, and closing behavior. And once it's set up, I'll preview the page and check that the pop-up appears as expected. And this feature gives the website additional ways to interact with visitors while keeping the overall design simple and focused. Now that we added the form and pop-up, let's make the page a little more dynamic with Kirki's interaction features. I'll start by selecting the main image on the page, and from the right-hand panel, I'll open the Interaction tab. Here we can choose different triggers for how the element should respond, including click, hover, mouse move while scrolling, and scroll into view. For this example, I'll choose scroll into view. This means the interaction will start when the image enters the visitor's screen. I'll apply the interaction and preview the page to check how the image responds as I scroll down to it. And next, I'll select Go Back Home button and add a simple hover interaction. This gives the visitors some more visual feedback when they move the cursor over the button. I'll preview the result again to make sure both interactions work smoothly with the rest of the design. And these simple interactions help make the digital agency website feel more responsive and engaging without changing the overall layout. And now that we've seen the basic interaction options, let's take a closer look at Kirki's animation presets and interaction library. I'll select the image again and open the interaction library. Here we can choose from different ready-made effects instead of creating every animation manually. For this example, I'll choose self-reveal and keep scroll into view as a trigger. This makes the image smoothly appear when the visitors reaches that part of the page. After selecting the preset, I can adjust settings such as duration, delay, opacity, and movement to control how the animation looks. I'll preview the result and make few adjustments if needed to configure everything. The interaction library makes the process much faster because I can start with a ready-made effect and customize it to fit to the design. We can also explore other available presets depending on the type of the element and effect we want to create. This gives us a simple way to add movement, a visual feedback, while keeping the website professional and engaging. Now that we've finished the main customization and interactive features, let's take a final look at the website. I'll click preview to see the page without the editing controls and check how everything looks from visitor's perspective. First, I'll quickly review the main layout, making sure the headings, images, buttons, and spacing are displayed correctly. I'll also test the interactive elements we added, including the scroll animation and hover interaction, to make sure they work as expected. Next, I'll switch between the desktop, tablet, and mobile views. This lets me check the layout remains responsive and that the content is positioned correctly on the different screen sizes. If I notice everything that needs adjusting, I can return to the editor, make the change, and preview it again. And once everything looks good, I'll save the latest changes and publish the page. And that brings us to the final result. We started with a ready-made template and customized it directly in Kirki, including the typography, colors, images, spacing, and buttons. We also explored forms and pop-ups and then added interaction and animations using the interaction library. And the main advantage is that we can start with an existing design and quickly adapt it instead of building every part of from scratch. At the same time, the visual editor gives us enough control to personalize the design and add interactive features that more improve the overall user experience. And that's a quick look at what we can create and customize with Kirki in WordPress. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click a like button and subscribe for more WordPress tutorials.